with Clinch, chatting all things MMA. Hi and welcome to the Clinch, where we discuss MMA in South Africa and the rest of the planet. My guest today defies categories. He's a polymath, he is a comedian, and welcome to the Clinch, Glen Bo.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So MMA and comedy, how does that work out together?
It's new. It's a new direction. Everyone thinks we're trying to be funny in it, but it's comedians doing it. That's basically what it is.
So it's comedians, boxing. You do
Yes.
comedy boxing, you do white collar boxing, and you...
Yes, yeah, we did it last year. We wanted to do something for November that had a bit more balls to it, excuse the pun. But the point was we wanted to do something that, like, let's put guys in a ring that don't necessarily have a grudge, but obviously same weight class and all that wanted to punch each other in the face for charity, and that's what we did.
As you do.
Yeah. So I got hold of the guys from FM, and I met Dino Bagerson and Chef, and it all started from there. Yeah.
And you're not the MC. You're not the ring guy. You actually participate.
So my first boxing match ever getting into the ring, I was the headline fight. Myself and a guy from Cape Town called Werner Weber.
Yes.
Very cool guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who won?
It was a draw, and it was declared fight of the night.
Oh, well, okay, cool. Yeah. So stand up at MMA, kind of stand up comedy, and you want to be the guy standing at the end of the event. But if it goes wrong, it's pretty spectacular.
It is. I think what's nice now is that I think comedians welcome hecklers all the time. But now it's if someone approaches you outside and says, "Oh, I've done shows in places like Richards Bay. It gets a bit hairy. So it's another fact. If they come to your car, you can defend yourself. Which is fun.
And getting here was also a bit hairy.
I raced to be here because I like to be punctual. Okay, so I need to be here like 2 minutes before you asked me to be here, so that the cop stopped me because I was speeding.
You got stopped?
Yes, I got stopped. I got fined. I say fine. I paid the bribe. It is what it is. I'm adding to just the legacy.
No, how much was it?
4 Happy Meals.
So it was a bribe, but it was fine with them.
I said to him, I said I'm going to ETV, and he's like, okay, Baba. It was weird.
He took your money.
He took my money. Took my money.
Off you go. So what was your first MMA experience? How did you get into the sport?
When I was a kid, I was much younger. I did karate, as a lot of people do. So, and I did Kai Cushion, which is most people do weird styles, it's quite a heavy style. And
Michiel Opperman's seriously a Kai Cushion guy.
Yeah, and I did that. I got my brown belt. I got my provincial colours and so forth. And that was all when I was like a kid. And then you kind of like finish school and you stop it. And I went overseas and I travelled, and then you fall out of a sport. And then I started watching UFC again, with the comedy boxing last year. And now I forgot how much I love the sport. Yeah. So now I'm obsessed, which is great.
And the ground, do you do much stuff on the ground, or are you just a stand-up kind of guy?
It's been stand-up for a year. What another pun? But I'd love to go and experience the whole Jits thing and start from the bottom and just do it.
How would you describe the Fire Fit Militia experience? Because that's you're pretty entrenched there, aren't you?
It's immersive. Yeah. It's immersive. If you go to FM, you kind of drink the Kool-Aid, and I like that about it though. Yeah. So a lot of people go, "Oh, it's a bit of a cult," you know. People that speak like that though,
they do
tend to be a little bit weird, but it's good things though. Like you get in, they empower you. It's very much a mental game there. I mean, for example, the week before my fight, in sparring, I actually cracked 2 ribs in the sparring, and I was completely freaking out about. Am I allowed to? Can't allow? Then I got clearance. I was allowed to, but at my own peril. Yeah. And Chef wrote me like an essay about just getting my head right, and I was like, well, there's no ways I'm not going to do it now. Yeah. So I liked that. I liked about FM. The guys it's hard training. They kind of change your life in like a good way. Yeah. But it's not just them. I think it's the whole sport. I think anyone that does the sport, you kind of like live it, and that's what I like about martial arts and MMA and everything like that. Everyone's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's
nicest people on the planet, pretty much.
They are, aren't they? There's an attitude there, and it's a brotherhood. It's not necessarily just about teaching MMA. It's teaching about how to accept people and stuff like that. Do what the hell you want with it. It's absolutely fine.
I'm branded Max. Yeah.
How are you excited about EFC at the moment? I mean, how do you think the sport's going in South Africa?
I'm always excited about EFC. If it's EFC night, my brother and I. We set it up, we stream it, we make an evening of it. Okay, there's a bribe before, there's drinks. It's an occasion. Cool. We get excited, and we scream, we lose our voices, we wake the neighbors up. got my dad into it, got my mom into it now.
Yeah, no way.
My mom watches UFC and then goes to church. So, but it's amazing. It doesn't matter what the fight card is. Obviously, it's really cool to watch people fight, but it's always a cool experience and a cool occasion, and it's fun. Yeah.
So doing the boxing events where we spoke earlier about it. I mean, there's no holding back. You guys are really smacking the crap out of each other. I mean, has it given you this past couple of months training at Fight Fit? Has it given you more insight into what fighters go through professionally, or just a slight
There's few things that are as cathartic as stepping in and out of that ring, because when you step into the ring for the first time or you spar for the first time, I remember. Dino was like, the first time I was going to spar now. And I was going to spar two guys, and they would keep swapping. But I was going to keep doing the rounds to get the cardio up.
Yeah.
And I stood there and I was just like frozen. He's like, dude, relax. I'm like, I'm fucking dying inside, because you don't realize what you actually have to go through. Then you get punched in the face and you realize, oh, I'm not made of glass. And then it's fun.
Yeah. I think for me it was like you're saying, is that that cardio you go through and you're just not physically being able to hold your fist up. And it's so easy when you're cage side or your TV in the lounge with your beer and you're watching the guys go, put your guard up, and you're like, I'm knackered. I can't even keep my fists up, guys.
It's difficult, and also with boxing, obviously, it's this. So they were training me in peekaboo, which is very Tyson-esque. So now I had two ribs, and I couldn't move the way I've been training for like 4 months. So everything went out the window, and everything goes out the window the second you actually do the fight. Yeah, sure. And you experience things that you don't experience in sparring, like the dude that's on like hitting you or like trying to like just dominate you, getting so frustrated because he can't, screaming at you. You never hear that on TV. Yeah. And that was quite the experience.
No, it's crazy. Yeah. EFC 52 is coming up next week, 5th of August. What are your thoughts? You stoked for that? I mean, if it's such a big event on Fight Night for you, what fight are you looking forward to the most?
Well, the headline fight's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a match fight, yes?
Yeah, it's Don Madge against Jerison Costa.
I think that's going to be awesome. I mean, Costa basically, he hasn't been around for years now. I think a couple of years. So he's coming back into it. Actually, I think he fought Dino back in the day. But that's going to be a good fight because he was his trainer and Madge and I has like kind of been doing camps at FFM, and I've always been a Madge fan because I like the controversy.
Yeah, great fighter, great guy.
Yeah. And now he's fighting. That's going to be like edge of the seat stuff. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's a serious, I don't know if it's a grudge match. It goes deeper than that, isn't it? Because we talk about beef between fighters so much, but these guys, their history is so unique that I've got no idea. And I was going to speak to Don this week, and hopefully we're going to chat with him next week or after the fight, because it is a strange situation where you're so close to a guy for so many years, and then you end up fighting him. It's a bizarre situation. The co-main event then is champion Dalcha Lungiambula against Tamela Maputa. Yeah. And ramifications for that are light heavy are quite interesting. Yeah. Because I guess the winner will face your lad Norman Chef Vessels in December in Cape Town.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see the rematch between Dalcha and Vessels then. I
can see it's going pretty much the same way.
I think it's going to be a good fight.
Because Norman's a bloody hero. And doing with Dalcha's a fantastic judo. Such incredible strength. Regardless, it's going to be a great fight. Yeah. But were you already looking past Tamela Maputa, really?
I'm being facetious. I think he's a good fighter. He's got those big, heavy punches that he brings in at the last 30 seconds of every fight. Like, start with that. Yeah. But I'm gonna be biased. If anyone from FFM is fighting, that's who I'm supporting.
That's it. Uh-huh. No, sure. What do you make then of Damart Penno and Irshad Syed issue? How's that played out for you? I mean, it's been quite a trip, eh?
Woo! Is the sound that I make, because it's going to be very interesting when they eventually get into the ring, because Syed is kind of like pretty amazing. Yeah. But Damart, like, have you had a conversation with Damart? Like, he is just next level. And just like his mental game and the way he preps, I've never met anyone that fit before. Yeah. Good guy. It's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a great fight.
And generally, I mean, you work also in the ad industry. Why is the sport not growing at the speed we expect it to? I mean, you talk about the love of MMA so much. I talk about it, and it's like you want more press day, you want more coverage, you want more programs, more formats, more magazine shows. I mean, as an ad guy, why can't we seem to break through the scene that other sports coach? I mean, you've got rugby, cricket, 24 hours around the clock for years and years and years. And you've got what we believe is the greatest sport on the planet. And we seem to be, we can't keep expecting EFC to be, the front bastion for the sport in this country all the time.
No, absolutely. Unfair. But look, I mean, I think the simple answer to your question is that it's legacy. So sure, martial arts and MMA and all that's been around for years, but how long has rugby been on TVs versus how long has MMA been on TVs?
Yeah.
And we're on EFC heading towards 52, 53 now, but we're on UFC 203, going 201, 202. Yeah. So it's just the amount of time it's been immersed into the culture. So I think that at the beginning of the game, and now it starts getting interesting that it's on terrestrial television. So you open up to a wider audience, more eyes. So your awareness funnel. So I'm going to go into ad mode now.
No, good.
But basically, they're creating a bigger audience. People start engaging. They become fans. It's good. So I think it's the right route, though. The more, the better. But people need to have good content, though.
Yeah, no, that's the key. I mean, we've seen there's some increase here. I mean, I know you tweeted the other night, actually. I caught one of your tweets. You're actually watching Last Fighter Standing. What do you make of it?
I think that as a concept, it's good, and it's good to see more television shows about it. I think there's a format existing that they could have maybe capitalized on, which would have been very interesting. Tapping into an existing community. It felt a bit reality TV-ish to me, which is maybe what they're going for. But I don't really buy into the rules of it.
Well,
if you're going to do a stand-up fight, then let's box. If you're going to do MMA, then do MMA.
Yeah.
MMA, it's been proven. What's the best fighting style? What is this? The 80s movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. We all know what it is. It's evolved since then. Why are we asking these questions now in 2016?
So you're referring to the fact that if the fight goes to the ground, they've changed the rules. So if the fight goes to the ground, they have 20 seconds on the ground, and then the referee will stand them up again. I mean,
and it's good. Look, don't get me wrong. Everyone that was fighting, it was quite entertaining, and the dudes went hard. They weren't holding back, and there's obviously a lot of talent out there that maybe isn't getting the awareness.
Right.
Because the first one was Durban based, so good for them, which is I think it's really cool though. But if someone then dominates someone, takes them to the ground and starts changing guard and getting, start capitalizing on the fight, and they stand them up, I don't know. I don't like it. But that's my personal opinion though. I get what they're trying to do though.
You get it.
Yeah.
See, I love jits. I think Dave Mazzani put it right the other day where he said with jiu-jitsu, there's some people who think jits is just beautiful. And I completely agree. So I'd rather a format where, if you stand up, you've got 20 seconds to knock the guy out, and then you go back down to the ground.
So the opposite.
I think that's a much better format. I did see some of it, I must admit, and I tuned in. The kids were playing up and staying up quite late.
Yeah.
There was I saw a bit where there was a guy sparring with the 12-ounce gloves, and he was sparring with the host.
Yeah.
And he had a peak cap on, like a snap-on.
Yes.
A basketball cap.
Yes.
I was like, okay, well, you're sparring in a peak baseball cap.
Yeah.
What I don't. And I thought.
Yeah, I mean, once again, with all due respect to the show and everything like that, which I think they're doing a great job. But if you're sparring with a peak cap, it means you're not getting hit in the head. It's like that simple. That means you're not sparring. It means you're going to spar afterwards to maybe get some cool drinks and stuff. But it's for TV, so that's what he was maybe trying to do.
Yeah, I think that the emphasis is on the TV rather than the sport thing. But if you love the sport, then it's like, hey, don't fuck with it. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Talking about MMA then in general, I mean, you're also a UFC fan.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of controversy lately with the performance-enhancing drugs, the Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar issue.
You ranted for an hour the other day. I think he's going to get a massive fine.
It's like, well, yeah, if he's still employed about it. But I mean, what I don't get about that, why more South African fighters don't get bust for Zol? Why is that?
I have no idea. I mean, like Diaz, what's the one Conor McGregor Diaz press thing?
The promo for Diaz McGregor 2.
Yeah,
coming up.
I think so. And they were like, what's your thoughts about steroids? And like Diaz is like, everyone's on steroids. Like I just love his attitude. And that's thing is I'm a McGregor fan like all day.
Okay.
But like Diaz is awesome. So but it's just So those two on a stage together, it's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show.
So Nate has been bust for Zol before. Nick has been bust for Zol. But how can it be performance enhancing? If you're a stand-up comedian, it might be performance enhancing.
No, it's not.
But isn't it? But for a fighter,
no,
I don't get how it can be bust for cannabis. As opposed to all the other crap that's been going on. Thankfully, there hasn't been. I think the wider testing here with SAID has been pretty good. And, majority of South African fighters are obviously clean, and it's great for the scene here.
Yeah, I think the only thing when it comes to comedy that's performance enhancing is like a political situation. That's about it.
Not lost for content then.
No, like it's almost too easy. I don't even talk about it because it's too easy. But when it comes to fighters and stuff, I don't know. I think most of the guys tend to be clean. I don't know what the format is there.
I think they are. Also, it's funny, we're going into fight week, and you make the comparative right now, Glenn. It's also the election week.
Yeah.
So it's the EFC 52 is on the same week as the municipal election. So how do you see, let's just deviate away a little bit.
Sure.
You raised it yourself. How do you see elections going down? You excited?
No,
not even remote.
No, I'm excited. I'm going to vote. You must vote. Like people died for the right to vote. I will be voting. But if I get one more voicemail asking me to vote or one more SMS, like, why are you SMSing us? It's not working. Like, no one cares.
Are you getting spammed by the political parties?
Both of them. Well, the two that count. And the other ones, just they don't give an F. So the point is, I think that political people, they need to like look at like what the Americans do. I mean, Obama won the vote on YouTube. Like you need to engage with the media. I did a lecture on Monday.
Yeah.
At the Red and Yellow School, like just about digital and so forth. Okay. And we debated this for half an hour. Like I actually didn't look at my slides. And I promise you, the youth, like 18 to like 25, they either don't want to vote, so there's legacy because their parents voted for a party.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to vote for the other party because the other party doesn't appeal to them. So there's a gap in the market for a new party, or it means your messaging's wrong.
Probably a mixture of all of them, or
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very sad. I think we should get back to the funny part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll get back to the.
But everyone must vote. Must vote. But stop SMSing us. Fuck.
So you're not going to the fights in Cape Town? Right?
No, unfortunately not.
No, but if it's generally you try and get to go when you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, cool.
Carnival City is a cool place. I was dying to go to the Sun City one. Sometimes I got shows on, so like I'll be sitting backstage and then I'll stream it.
Yeah. So what else do you do? So you do a fair amount of stand-up comedy. You do some work for Comedy Central. What was that like?
That was fun. Comedy Central is the EFC of comedy, basically. Yeah, I mean they empower the comedians and put their content on TV. It's good.
Yeah, I misread it because when I said you did some work for Comedy Central Africa, I always thought it was like some comedy club in Kinshasa or something. Yeah, but it's Comedy Central Africa.
Yeah.
Comedy Central Africa.
Yeah. It's Comedy Central. It's Comedy Central AF. Most people think it's Comedy Central as fuck, which is pretty cool. But it's Comedy Central for Africa. And yeah, I just did a thing called Comics Corner. They interview comics and you kind of talk about whatever you want and write a blog. And it was the lead up to last year's event, which is quite nice. Right. So that's what I like about them. We're seeing more comedians get onto TV now. Right. In a good and a bad way. So I just hope to see more of it. Yeah.
Trevor Noah, proud, happy, crap, what?
The comedy Jesus. Yeah. Proud, of course, proud.
Cool. And the general scene in Johannesburg with stand-up comedy?
It's booming.
Really?
People say it's a new rock and roll. It's been rock and roll for a long time. It will always keep growing. Joburg is kind of where it's at. The Durban scene was there 10 years ago. I kind of started it up. Now it's organic. There's other guys running with it and doing a great job. Cape Town is always there. It's always booming. It's a really cool place to do shows. I was there like a month ago. Yeah. But Joburg is kind of, I think Josie anger does something to people. So it's good. The audiences want to come watch, which is good.
So we talked a bit about the comedy boxing and the white collar boxing. I mean, how do people get involved? What's it all about?
Well, the first one was basically it's white collar boxing. So white collar boxing is anyone that doesn't do it professionally. So it's almost like amateur boxing. Yeah. So there's lots of that happens around Joburg. I haven't seen a lot of it, and that's one of the things I said to FM. Let's do it, and they were like, "Hell's yeah!" And they dove in and they sponsored a lot of the guys to just come and train and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So we called it comedy boxing. So hashtag comedy boxing, and that's the website comedyboxing.coza. If you're a comedian and you want to get involved, but this year I want to open it up to like DJs. Okay, I'd love to see Gareth Cliff fight Darren Wackett Simpson. It's not the same weight class, but that would be. I would watch that fight. I would watch it. So Gareth Cliff, Darren.
Not the same weight class.
But yeah. I got shit. Yeah. Okay. But the point is, like, that would be very cool. So like DJs or maybe like celebrity chefs, or let's get someone in there from the ANC that can fight the DA. Let's put some gloves on.
And it's for November. I mean, so people, the punter comes along, pays amount of money, the ticket sells, and you should just
it's a fight. People think that it's comedy boxing. Well, what are you guys doing? It's a fight.
So it's a real fight.
It's a real fight.
Full contact.
Yeah. So we wear 14-ounce gloves. Yeah. It's either 12 and 14, I forget. Yeah. And then headgear. But it's a full-on fight. In actual fact, I'll post my fight from last year on YouTube, which is everything is just Glen Bo show.
Okay, so how do people get involved with the comedy boxing for November?
Go to the website, comedyboxing.coza, and just pop us an email. And it would be great. I think it's really cool because it gets people into the sport that might be a little bit intimidated. The hardest thing I did was walking into FFM the first time. Mm-hmm. And then the hardest thing was obviously stepping into the ring.
Yeah.
But walking in there, it's so intimidating. But when you get inside, you meet people. So if there's a gym near you, doesn't matter what the gym is, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Go, just get involved. Just try it.
So get in training. And do you have social media accounts that people can get hold of you and find out more?
Yes. Just search Glen Bo Show. But everything. Snapchat is the funniest stuff. So I love Snapchat. And Twitter and Instagram. So at Glen Bo Show.
Awesome, mate. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. This is very cool.
Well, thanks for watching. You've been watching The Clinch on eNCA.com. We'll be talking MMA and a whole bunch of other stuff today with comedian Glen Bo, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
The Clinch, chatting all things MMA.